Still babysitting, Mira. Uncle Jerry chuckled, the smell of Dad's famous barbecue ribs thick in the air. My stomach dropped. Around the patio table, faces blurred, each holding a piece of birthday cake, each a reminder of my failures. The string lights cast a warm glow on the Wisconsin evening, highlighting the blooming petunias and my own flushed cheeks. 18 and directionless, according to everyone. No boyfriend, no job, just Sloane's unpaid nanny. Inside, I was screaming. Outside, I remained composed. Sloane, golden child, effortlessly floated through conversations about her new promotion. My hands trembled as I cut another slice of cake for my nephew Ethan. He grinned, oblivious to the subtle jabs aimed my way. Mira, you're the best. Later, a notification buzzed on my phone. Congratulations. Your application to the Wisconsin State Honors Program has been accepted. A tiny spark ignited within the darkness. They wouldn't see this coming. Ever felt like a doormat? Subscribe now for a satisfying glow up. This is a story about proving them all wrong. You won't believe what happens next. October 14, 2017. Sloane's needs always came first. Every Saturday for 3 years, Sloane's urgent texts had become the soundtrack to my teenage life. While Sloane was getting her nails done, I was changing diapers. While she was at parties, I was reading bedtime stories. My own plans, carefully scheduled and eagerly anticipated, would crumble with a single text message. The annual college fair loomed, a beacon of hope in my otherwise monotonous existence. A chance to speak with representatives from my dream schools. I had prepared a list of questions, researched programs, even rehearsed my introduction. But Sloane had a last-minute hair appointment. It's so important, Mira. Prom is next week and I need this. The college fair faded, replaced by 2 squirming boys and a Disney movie marathon. Another sacrifice, another silent resentment added to the pile. Then there was Christmas. Sloane received a brand new car, gleaming under the tree, its leather seats smelling of possibility. I received a gift card to the local bookstore. While they celebrated Sloane's freedom, I was stuck with a novel, the only escape from reality I could afford. The inequality stung, a sharp contrast between their expectations and my reality. Lana, my cousin, later cornered me in the kitchen. They treat you like Cinderella, Mira. But Cinderella eventually leaves. Her words echoed in my mind, a seed of defiance beginning to sprout. The breaking point, it happened on the day of my AP Biology group study session. Sloane dropped off the boys anyway. Just for a few hours, Mira, she said, breezing out the door. The boys, bless their hearts, proceeded to smear peanut butter on my textbooks. Mrs. Bentley would have been horrified. My dreams felt as sticky and ruined as my AP Bio notes. The weeks that followed were a blur of babysitting gigs and strategic silence. Each booked appointment, each earned dollar, felt like a brick laid in the foundation of my future. I learned to navigate tantrums and time management with the precision of a seasoned entrepreneur. No more freebies, no more guilt, no more apologies. Simultaneously, at home, nothing changed. Sloane continued to flaunt her achievements, my parents continued to sing her praises, and I continued to fade into the background. Still just babysitting, huh? Dad would ask, his tone laced with a familiar disappointment. The question stung, but now it fueled me. Let them underestimate me. Let them remain blissfully unaware of the empire I was quietly building. The silence was strategic. My growing bank account, the satisfied smiles of my clients, the sheer force of my ambition, these were my weapons, sharpened in secret. I relished the irony. They saw a babysitter, a mere convenience, while I was a businesswoman, a strategist, a force to be reckoned with. The tension reached a fever pitch the night report cards came out. Sloane, predictably, had aced every class. My parents beamed, showering her with praise. I held my own report card, its contents hidden beneath a carefully constructed mask of indifference. Straight A's, every single one. The honors program acceptance was no fluke. But revealing my success now would be premature, a wasted opportunity. Let them revel in their assumptions. The real reveal was yet to come. The air crackled with static, anticipation thick as the gravy ladled onto mashed potatoes. Thanksgiving. A significant family gathering. This year I was prepared, mentally, emotionally, and financially. Sloane, predictably late, breezed in, a whirlwind of designer perfume and apologies. Her arrival was a spectacle as always. Traffic was insane, she declared, air-kissing Mom. The subtle dig, it didn't land. I subtly checked my phone, a reminder to transfer $100 into my savings account. Dad carved the turkey, his brow furrowed in concentration. Mira, still watching those little monsters? He asked, the question dripping with condescension. This time my response was different. Actually, Dad, I'm running a pretty successful childcare business. The words hung in the air, a foreign object in their familiar narrative. Their eyes, usually glazed with polite disinterest, flickered with a spark of curiosity. Mom's perfectly coiffed hair didn't even shift. That's nice, dear. Sloan, tell us about your presentation. A wave of relief washed over me. They hadn't caught on. Not yet, patience. I took a deep breath, savoring the sweet potato casserole. The feast was more fuel for my plan. Later, Uncle Jerry cornered me by the cranberry sauce. So, no college plans yet. The familiar sting was dulled by the knowledge of my acceptance and the laptop I'd be buying with my earnings. Actually, Uncle Jerry, I said, a smile playing on my lips, I've already been accepted to Wisconsin State. Their obliviousness was my shield, my secret weapon. Every smile, every condescending question was a reminder of how far I had come. I was no longer the invisible girl, the free babysitter. I was a force, a silent storm gathering strength. And soon, they would all know it. Real adults don't take advantage of others and call it love. Silence, then Sloane gasped, clutching her chest as if struck. How dare you, she sputtered, her face turning a shade of red that rivaled the cranberry sauce. Dad choked on his wine, sputtering and coughing. The gravy boat trembled precariously in Mom's hand. My words landed like a bombshell, shattering the carefully constructed facade of their perfect family dinner. What does that even mean? Sloane demanded, her voice rising in pitch. I met her gaze, unwavering. It means, I said, my voice calm and steady, that my time has value and I'm no longer giving it away for free. The silence returned, thicker than before. I calmly placed my napkin on the table and pushed back my chair. I have something I'd like to share. My voice was louder than before, demanding attention. I smiled and pulled out a letter from my purse. 2 weeks ago, I received my acceptance letter from Wisconsin State University. I paused for effect, letting the words sink in, with a partial scholarship. The shock rippled through the room. My mother's jaw literally dropped. Wisconsin State, but how? My dad looked as though he had seen a ghost. He opened his mouth to speak, but no words came out. Even Ethan looked confused, his innocent face crinkled in a frown. Sloane was speechless. Her face was pale as she stared at me, her usual composure shattered. You never said anything, she finally stammered, her voice barely a whisper. I pulled out a second letter, this one from the Wisconsin State Honors Program. And I was accepted into the honors program. The room grew quiet. I could almost hear the ticking of the clock. This was the moment. The shift. I had earned this moment and was now ready to claim it. I moved to the back porch, the scent of wood smoke lingering in the air. Time for damage control and a new business strategy. When I returned, the atmosphere was strained. Well, Mom began, her voice tight, that's wonderful, Mira. Wonderful, she's abandoning us, Sloane screeched, her voice cracking. Who's going to watch the boys? I calmly retrieved a rate sheet. Here's my new pricing. Referral discount for family, of course. Sloane stared at it, aghast. You're charging us now. My services are in high demand, I said, a subtle smile playing on my lips. You laughed then, you're not laughing now. Dad cleared his throat. Mira, honey, family helps family, maybe a little, discount. Dad, I said, meeting his gaze, I'm saving for college, every dollar counts. Silence. I had won this round, then a text pinged. Emergency date night, can you watch the boys? We'll pay double. Sloane, my thumbs flew across the screen. Sorry, booked, check out my Facebook page for other sitters in the area. The ensuing silence was deafening, I relished it. For the first time I was in control, but the silence was shattered again just as quickly. My lawyer called. Mira, excellent news, Mr. Abernathy's voice boomed through the speaker, regarding the trust your grandmother established. I thought it prudent to deliver this news personally, considering the circumstances. All eyes snapped to me. Trust? My grandmother, who pinched pennies so hard Lincoln cried. It appears your grandmother, unbeknownst to your parents, acquired a significant stake in Sunshine Daycare, Inc. Many years ago. Controlling interest, in fact. Mr. Abernathy cleared his throat. Per the terms of the trust, that control and all associated assets transfer to you effective immediately. My family stared, mouths agape. Sunshine Daycare. the only daycare center within a 30-mile radius, the one with a 2-year waiting list and exorbitant fees. In simpler terms, Mira, Mr. Abernathy continued, oblivious to the stunned silence, you now own the most profitable childcare facility in the county. Sloane's face contorted. But, the boys, I smiled, a slow, deliberate curve of my lips. Looks like I'm back in the childcare business, family discount no longer applies. I calmly ended the call. The room was silent except for Ethan babbling about wanting more turkey. The stunned looks on their faces were more satisfying than any dessert. My newfound control wasn't just about money, it was about leverage. Sloane needed Sunshine Daycare. Every working parent in town needed Sunshine Daycare. And now I controlled the gate. Months passed. The initial shock faded, replaced by strained politeness. Mom attempted reconciliation, praising my entrepreneurial spirit. Dad boasted about my girl at the hardware store. I offered measured responses, acknowledging their efforts but remaining guarded. Sunshine Daycare thrived, ethically run with fair wages, a stark contrast to my past exploitation. Sloane, humbled, even sought my advice on balancing work and motherhood, a bittersweet victory. Looking back, I understood the power wasn't in owning the daycare but in owning myself. Boundaries became my shield, confidence my armor. Today I embrace freedom and self-worth. So, feeling empowered. Share this because everyone deserves their own win. Prove them wrong, build your bridge, and make your success the sweetest revenge.